4.7 million apprehended, 1.3 million evaded, potentially 20 more percent than that. Improvised explosive device being used against U.S. law enforcement. America protects other countries' borders. Chief, do you think it's time that the United States President sends the military to the southern border to protect the American people?
Sir, we have our DOD partners operating along the southwest border. As I mentioned earlier, I was down there yesterday evening and the day before, working side by side with our National Guardsmen, our Texas Department of Public Safety partners, and a slew of law enforcement agencies. I will tell you that, to me, Border Patrol work should be done by Border Patrol agents. We do have, I think, opportunities to leverage our partners. Back in 2012, I had 21,370 Border Patrol agents. Right now, I have 19,016. My requirement is 22,000 Border Patrol agents. Until I can get there, I'm going to require assistance from other agencies to include the Department of Defense. But right now, for me, my priority is doing everything I can to add more personnel to my ranks so we can make sure that Border Patrol agents that are out there doing that job.
And I thank you, and I think it's time to get 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue on the phone, let them know what's going on down here. I also would like to ask you, Mr. Kagan, your office is responsible for leading efforts to counter transnational crimes. This includes combating drugs, illegal weapons, and money laundering. Has your agency seen an increase in criminal activity over the last 2 years as it relates to the surge at the border?
Naturally, the surge at the border is going to create more activity because, as I mentioned, the transnational criminal organizations will target the vulnerable populations. And when you have the vulnerable population moving up towards the border and towards the ports of entry, it's going to cause more activity. And that is the reason for our Operation Expanded Impact, which is the framework that HSI utilizes in order to surge special agents to the southwest border in order to support the increased activity.
Thank you. Who are the main perpetrators of transnational criminal activity along the southern border?
The cartels.
Thank you. If we return to the operational policies under the previous administration, Chief Ortez, how long would it take to get the border under control?
Every policy that allows us to repatriate or reduce the flow of migrants is certainly going to increase our operational effectiveness and our ability to control that border. Once again, we're dealing with a different population group. I think it's going to be a real challenge for us to repatriate some folks from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua. So we have to make sure that we have a tool for those populations, not just folks from Central America or Mexico.
Thank you. There's people out there that can talk about him all they want, but Donald Trump kept our country safe. Under the Trump administration, ICE air was fueled up 24/7, and those that came to the United States illegally were detained and removed to their country of origin immediately, and not turned loose and asked to come to a hearing months later. They're coming from Mexico, they're coming from Guatemala, El Salvador, Ecuador, Colombia, Cuba, Haiti, Iran, and they're coming from China too. Our country is under attack. America is being invaded. No American is safe. This invasion is not a Democratic issue. It is not a Republican issue. It is an American issue. We have learned more in these hours than we've heard out of D.C. in I don't know how many weeks. I'm a freshman United States congressman. I've been in office for 9 weeks, and we're learning more here than we've heard in the last 9 weeks. I thank each of you, but I can tell you this. The thing I'm most distraught about, there's not a Democrat here. This is an American issue. It's appalling that the Democrats didn't show up and America is under attack. I thank both of you for being here.